Hey everybody, it's Lacey. Welcome to Paws and Paper. So I have something a little different here that I am adding to my Etsy shop. This is a complete fabric lace bundle. I've made it so that you could probably at least make, I would say, 2, 3, maybe even 4 journal covers from all the fabrics here. So let's just get into it and I'll show you what is all included here. So there are variations, and the variations are because of these 4 items right here. I am going to show you those variations last because the rest of this stuff here is all the same for every pack. So this is all the same, and then there's 4 items that vary. Okay, so in the fabric packs, there is several large pieces and then some smaller pieces. So like this here is approximately 28 inches wide. So this is a great big piece of upholstery fabric. And it's got the burgundies, browns, blues in it. So there is a lot of fabric here. You could make a complete cover of a journal with this piece alone. So this is a great big piece of upholstery fabric, and I tried to stick with coordinating colors. So you get that great big piece, and then also this here, and most of these are all vintage fabrics. This here is a really pretty black and white polka dot with these gorgeous bright flowers in purples, yellows, and reds. So there's a great big piece of this fabric also. And all of these fabrics are going to coordinate with the bird pictures, which are kind of like what I would say are like the main focal points. So 2 great big pieces, and then there is some smaller pieces. This is vintage flour sack, along with this vintage flour sack piece, and a lot of the coordinating blues, yellows, reds, purples, burgundies, and they all tie together. And now I've also done, these are like cottons, and then this here is more of like a linen type fabric a little bit more. It's a real dark chocolate brown, a real long strip of that. I've tried to incorporate some different textures of fabrics. These are all cotton pieces in the burgundies, florals, earthy colors, the greens. So those are all cotton, which will give you that nice frayed edge when you tear. Now this one here might look a little bit odd and interesting. This is a red, white, and blue checked, but it does tie in to a lot of the main focal point birds. If you'll see here, this is the bluebird. It's got the red berries, the bluebird, and it does tie with this fabric. So that's why this one's in here, because these main focal points have some of that blues and reds. I also have this really pretty shimmery kind of upholstery fabric. You'll see this. This is like the cover I made with the patchwork journal that I just got done with. This here is really pretty like eyelet fabric, real thin and light. Like I said, most of these are vintage fabrics that I have found. These 3 here are all sari silks, and they're really pretty to feel. Very lightweight. There's a nice pretty cream, a like mossy greenish brown, and then like this really pretty emerald green color with the real pretty black and gold trim at the bottom. Really pretty sari silk pieces. And then there are some lace type pieces. This is black and the cream florals. Everything's pretty well floral patterned in here. So the black and the cream. And then There is also, I have these really pretty red floral appliques, which again, bring out some of the red from the focal pieces. So 3 of those red floral appliques. And then some of the vintage laces. This is pretty yellow, like a real light yellow and more of a white. And there's 14 inches of each of these lace pieces. Here's a really pretty like doubled cream lace. Here's a real wide floral lace. These are super pretty, and I made them this tall so that way if you wanted to run it down the edge of a spine on a journal, that you would have plenty to do that. So each of these pieces is 14 inches. You'd have plenty to run down a standard size journal. So those are the 3 or 4 antique vintage lace pieces. Here's the 4 lace pieces. And then there is the red beaded trim here, which I think is just really pretty. It's a really pretty accent. And again, it brings out the red accent pieces of the bird panels. So that is what is in every one of these fabric packs. Okay. Now the variation comes from these panel pieces. There is a bird on each one, and they're all different. So this is the bluebird, and the bluebird has a doily, and they all have a different type of vintage doily. So this one here is a circular vintage doily and a vintage handkerchief. So this is the one that goes with the bluebird. And also the pack of seam binding, a vintage pack of seam binding. And they're still sealed. They have never been opened. So those are the 4 items that are different. Okay, so let me show you the 4 items that are different in each pack. Okay, so up next is Meadowlark. This is the picture of the panel. And these panels are approximately 10.5 by 12.5. So 10.5 by 12.5. So you could easily make this the front of your journal. Okay, so this is Meadowlark. And then here is the vintage handkerchief that comes with this. It's a real sheer, pretty blue, pink handkerchief. The doily is a squared, it looks like hand stitched doily. Very pretty one on there. And it's a square one, fairly large. And then the seam binding is like a tannish, a beige. So here's the seam binding with Meadowlark. Now these are listed all together. And if you want to specify which panel you get, you need to comment through Etsy and send me a comment or email me and let me know which one you want, because Etsy wouldn't allow me to put variations. So I had to list them all together. So you just need to let me know which one you would like. This is Baltimore Oriole. Very pretty. Comes with the coordinating orange roses, which I thought was very fitting for Baltimore Oriole. And this one also has that same hand-stitched rectangular doily. Very large. Very pretty. And then this one just has the white seam binding. Up next, I have here American Goldfinch. So here's the pretty little yellow finches and the blue and red, look like little thistles almost. And then the doily here is just a pretty crocheted doily. Now these are vintage, so they're not in 100% perfect condition. You can see there's kind of a little tear there. There might be some staining. They are true vintage, so there is wear and tear. And then the handkerchief that comes with this one is this pretty, nice and sheer blue floral with the pink outline, and then some really pretty green seam binding. Okay, next one here is the chickadees. So cute with the 3 little birdies and the yellow and reds. Again, that's why I did throw in some of the reds. The doily is another circular, like a linen type doily with the lace around the outside. Very pretty pale yellow and pink bouquets on the handkerchief with some very pretty yellow, light yellow seam binding. And the last variation that is available is this pretty mockingbird. Beautiful blue flowers and the reds. Love it. With the handkerchief that matches perfectly. All the reds, blues. So pretty. And then the crocheted doily that goes with this one. And the really pretty green again vintage seam binding. So again, these are all available on my Etsy shop. Just email me or comment through Etsy Messenger which bird you want, because that's how I've listed them. So you just say, you know, goldfinch, and then you get these 4 pieces that come with this bundle. So everyone gets this same stuff, exact same stuff. The only difference is these 4 items, if that makes sense. So again, I just thought these would make excellent journal covers. They're just so pretty. And then I tried to coordinate the stuff to go with them. So if you're interested, take a look in my Etsy shop. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys later. Go get your paws dirty and get crafty. Bye.